Good morning. I'm out light walking on the beaches of Newport Beach, California, and this is your Wednesday Namaste Today. Good morning and Namaste and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº Witecki. I'm a psychic astrologer and I call myself the Sensei to Serious Joy. Here to stand in my heart each day and walk in the light. Thanks so much for joining me on my little web show. This is for Wednesday, August 5th, 2015, and we are progressing in Sun in Leo, which means the human race is working on the connection to their heart. And we're also at the same time in a Venus retrograde, which means we're reaching back into time and pulling one of our heartfelt experiences into the present. That's what I believe Venus retrograde does. And a shout out and happy birthday to a couple of friends out there. You know who you are. But I got to say, the August 5th Leos have always had something special in my heart, like something about it. And I think it's because they're either a step 12, a teacher, or a step 13, where we are today, which is kind of a brazen, radical, revolutionary Leo. And I find both of those kind of Leos hot, either teachers or the revolutionary ones, both. It's 12 or 13. But happy birthday to those Leos. You know who you are. There's a couple of Leos. There's like 4 Leos I know at this birthday today. And I have to say, it might be a bit of a re-evolutionary day for you. That's because it's a step 13 day. 13 adds to a 4. And so in step astrology, that means we're going to change where we belong. Now, looking at all the planets, and I'm going to go into a reading here in a minute, I already know what this is about because I was programming Serious Joy yesterday, and it has to do with taking it up. Okay, we got to take it higher today. So no matter where you find yourself with your heart, I implore you today to take it higher. You can stay and complain. You can stay and boo-hoo about it, really, if you want to. And if that works for you in the end and gets you what you want in life, I recommend you do it. But as your Sensei to Serious Joy, I don't recommend you do that today. I recommend that whatever you hit, you take it higher. Taking it higher means that you respond to the situation, or you enter the situation in a place or a position or from a perspective that takes it in your highest good. Okay? Now, it should always be in your highest good first, and if possible, in the other party's highest good as well, right? But the truth is when it's in your highest good, I've never seen it actually hurt another party except disappoint them, so to speak. So today it's time to take it higher. If you have any breakdown going on around you, that will be because those areas of your life, those heart-invested areas of your life, are no longer being supported by the universe. It's time to take it higher. So without further ado, let me take it higher for you by logging in my guides and seeing what the planets have to say with a spot read. 1 second. I'm getting good at this in public. Interesting. So they take me straight to Mars as we start off here. And Mars today is at step 27 Cancer, and like I said earlier in the open, the Sun is at step 13. So step 13 is already a radical degree. It's a degree where we have to take it up a notch. It's based basically on what we believe. So today I recommend following what you believe. That's the most simple formula to getting through the day. It's like if you don't believe you should have to tolerate that, then you don't. If you don't believe it should be this way, then you don't. That sets up the fuel. But the fire, I think, is what our guides are taking us to, which is Mars at step 27. Now, step 27 is the Grandmaster step of Mars, okay? So whenever Mars finds itself in that position, I find that people are making master strokes in their life, or they have the opportunity to make a master stroke. Now, sometimes a master stroke is not acting at all. Letting someone just go ahead and make a fool out of themselves when you would normally interrupt and end up making it about you. Letting someone put their foot in their mouth. A lot of times, master strokes, I find, is no stroke at all. But today, we are in a master stroke. And that means that we are to act at step 27, which is when we feel it. And boy, will we feel it, because we're talking about a step 27 in the sign of 2, which is Cancer. And then 7. 7 is the secret. The secret is when the universe tells you, you should go for it. And unfortunately, the only way to know that is to be constantly aware of how you feel and if it's time yet. So if there's a lot of people who are kind of anxious to get started, I always instruct them as their sensei, your job is to constantly ask yourself, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Very much like kids in the back seat on a vacation. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? For yourself, you'll ask yourself, you want to feel yourself and ask, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Now, this is likely a time to act, a time to speak up, a time to put something in motion. Again, Mars at step 27 is a master stroke, which means whatever you end up doing or not doing today, it's most likely a master stroke in the sense of it was what was necessary to get the story moving forward. And because we're in Cancer, we're talking about the emotional story. Mars is in Cancer. So your heart may want something in life, but you might have to get the emotional story going to get it moving forward. In other words, getting grandma unstuck or getting your partner behind what it is you're trying to do. That would be getting the emotional story going, getting the emotional flow going, and that's a big part of what today's about. Now they're pointing to Jupiter. Jupiter is at step 28, and it's also conjuncting Venus retrograde at step 28. So this master stroke is likely a repetition of something you did in a past life, because we're still actually in the beginning of Venus retrograde. And although we're trudging along with what our heart wants and we're moving forward with Leo, we're actually just unfolding the Venus retrograde stories right now. So you really can't do anything wrong is what I'm saying. It's like if you act or don't act, it's either the way you didn't do it last time in the past life or the way you did do it in the past life, and either way it will pull you into the past life. The other thing that's interesting to know about past life perspectives is when you clear a past life, you will find yourself on the opposite side of your cause, okay? So if you in one life made this cause to kill in the name of Jesus, which is one of my past lives as a crusader, believe it or not, then my cause is coming on with Serious Joy today, and I'm on the opposite side. I'm on the receiving side of that sense, of what I have created in life. I mean, you're on the receiving side of what you've done, which is like now everyone's afraid of God and blah, 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 and you find yourself having to correct it on the receiving side. So whatever action you find today that you're doing, you may be on the reverse side of where you normally are. So it's like the cheater is cheated on, that sort of thing. That's the only example I could think of. And you find yourself on that side. Now that is karma clearing. That's when the understanding really happens, when you're on the opposite side of the cause you once made. So we are remanifesting, says Jupiter Venus, this scenario where we were causing and affecting based on our heart's desire. We're in a particular sort of belief structure, I think, because of the Sagittarius energy, and it also has a lot to do with what our heart feels, what our heart wants. And so listening to your heart is important. Another point to Mercury. So Mercury today is at step 26. It is well past the Sun. 26 actually is twice of 13. Isn't that interesting? And it is also a deciding point. So our mind today is going to sort of classify this whole thing. You're going to classify it. So it's like, okay, today I went out, I broke down, da-da-da, this happened. I said, no, okay, moral of the story is da-da-da-da. So Mercury is the moral of the story. I mean, Mercury is how we always sum it up, but step 26 is kind of like the moral of the story. What we decide from this, what we understand from this. And this is not something that Mercury is going to retrograde through. Our mind is going to keep building from this impression, even though our hearts are going back and forth with the Venus retrograde. Now they bring me actually to Pallas. How interesting. Pallas is at step 11 Sagittarius. And Pallas is kind of, my joke with Pallas is it's Jupiter's spoiled daughter. So Pallas is going around throwing down credit cards everywhere, just buying everybody drinks. You know what I mean? Like, oh, daddy's going to pay for it. But what it means is where we're really kind of having fantasy and vision, and where we're building a big palace, and where we're building a big spectacular something out of our life. And so Pallas at step 11 Sag would mean that right now you are in this whole process building the ideal religion. Okay, so step 11 is the religion of integrity. Religion of integrity is a personal philosophy that turns into your own religion, if you want to look at it that way. If you were to have someone else sign up for what you're doing, it would be a religion, but it's your religion. But it's coming into a particular philosophy, that is good for life. So today, as you are exploring all this, as you're having some sort of breakthrough around where your heart belongs or doesn't belong, as Venus is saying, voila, this is exactly where I was in a past life, except now I'm this, as Mercury is saying, the moral of the story is this and this, okay, all these things are happening, you in fact are, all this process is building a philosophy, the first really page of your new operating system. And when I say new operating system, I mean Saturn's moving into Sagittarius later this year for all you astronauts out there. And so we're all going to be rebuilding what we believe. Today would maybe be the first page of that new Bible written for our own religion. Then lastly, I'll speak to the moon. The moon during the course of the day does cross over Uranus. Uranus means we have to emotionally take it up a notch. And you'll probably have to emotionally mature about something petty before you have to kind of take it up a notch with your whole heart and your whole heart's desire. So expect the unexpected and expect something stupid to maybe go wrong in the early part of the day that kind of just lets you emotionally be set for what is otherwise going to be, I think, a very spiritual day. And that was from the guides to watch out for that speed bump of the moon crossing Uranus. For those people who are watched over my personal Sensei network, I will be programming serious joy alerts right around the moon crossing over Uranus, so you'll be knowing that it's not just you, the universe is cranky also. All right, I think this is all excellent. So thank you so much for all of your wonderful comments. I do read all of them. I want to remind you to come on down to my personal website at soulgarden.tv, where you can read my daily blog, where I get a little bit deeper and a little bit more astro citations for those who miss that sort of side of me. And I do the 12 signs and a little blurb on how they're feeling today. And that's at soulgarden.tv, where you can also look into my products and services that I offer. Well, my friends, hang tight. Remember, follow what you believe today. Stick with what you believe and be willing to play emotional ball with the moment. Your heart's dreams are coming true, and no matter what your karma was, you'll find yourself on the other side of it when everything manifests. And even then, we can still move from there. I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Until then, remember, I love you, and live, love, be.